Welcome back to my channel. I tried to put together a Halloween video for you guys, but I fully admit I got swooped up on the fun bus, not the party bus. There's a difference. It's a dry bus. But I got, basically swooped up by the fun bus and got my butt run over. So I'm gonna try and get that out to you now. Here we go. Hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. Happy Halloween, All Hallows Eve, Blessed Samhain, or just Happy Friday in general. Everybody's had such a great vibe today. It's been amazing. And I've heard that it's because they're reflecting my mood, and I'm like, you know what? That inspires me to just keep being happy, honestly. I really do enjoy Halloween. It's one of the days of the year where my level of weirdness is not only accepted, but celebrated. I actually had a customer come into the store earlier and was just like, Happy Halloween! And I was like, oh, it's Halloween? I wish I would have known. I would have dressed normal. But no, my costume is actually based on the Irish pirate queen, Grace O'Malley, Granuel. She was... It was around the time when the Tudors were taking over Ireland, but she established her power both on land and on sea, despite having a brother who was supposed to inherit the land and such. So, definitely a pioneer and pretty badass woman, so very proud to be her. But one of the other funny things was... I told my boss, because after he told me that I was going to have to work on Halloween, but it happens. I was just like, I want to be a ninja. I was like, can I bring my shuriken and my sais? And he was just like, what are those? He goes, no, you know what? Never mind. You're asking, and that means they're weapons, so no. I was like, dang it, he knows me too well. Which, shuriken are actually Japanese throwing stars, and the sais are, I usually describe them from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Raphael. Those are his weapon of choice, so, and I'm getting pretty good at those, actually. But like I said, hoping to be able to give you guys a demonstration here pretty soon, but things have just been kind of hectic, which I heard from a friend that there have been a lot of changes in the solar system, which could account for, a lot of anxiety and such. So let's hope that maybe the worst is over, but Magnetize Yourself was actually saying that it could be a symbol of graduating to a different timeline. So I'm kind of hoping for that too. Kind of bittersweet, knowing that I'm not the only one suffering from fatigue and brain fog and such. But, of course, on one hand, the way I feel, I really wouldn't wish it on anybody else, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to know that I'm not alone. I've been talking to a lot of people, especially empaths, that have been affected by these solar changes. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I had heard that there was a comet that went out of the solar system and then came back, was doubled in size and is in between us and the sun. So there's that, and then the solar flares have been pretty extreme lately, but there's just been a lot going on in the universe in general. So it's kind of understandable that, especially those who are very sensitive to those types of things would be affected by that. So, the only thing we can really do is just kind of power through it. I listened to a podcast the other day by Mel Robbins, and she was talking about like the best things to do, especially during times of fatigue or when you're fighting a depression like I am, was the first 40 minutes of your day are crucial to your brain's and your mindset for the rest of the day. So she said one of the things to keep in mind is don't look at your phone for the first 40 minutes after you wake up. At least not doom scrolling, as she called it, I understand I usually check my phone first thing to make sure I don't have any messages from my kids or, something like that. But you know what? Greg used to tell me this does not have to happen right now. I mean, if it were that important, they would have called, right? So, I mean, one of the best things to do is, drink a glass of water because your brain is dehydrated. And then, take a bunch of deep breaths and stretch and just kind of, what was it? I believe it was Walt Whitman that had a poem of, I sleep to wake, but I take my waking slow. And that helps put you in the mindset of, I can do this. That's, all right, I'm going to take things at my own pace. And that really does help, especially lately, because I have had to remind myself a lot to take a deep breath and slow down. Anxiety and things like that will force us to move at a pace that we're not quite ready for sometimes, and it's best to take things slow at your own pace. And I mean, if you're in a fog like I have been, it helps sometimes to just own that. I've told many customers, sorry, I'm kind of dragging today. I'm not really sure why. I haven't been sleeping well or something like that, just being truthful about it, both with yourself and others. I'm sure they've been in the same boat before too, so they should understand. But, just being mindful of both yourself and other people is very helpful. Well, my night got super busy, so I just wanted to pop by and tell everybody to have a happy Halloween. I've got my beautiful friend Sarah here, and we're going to go to a Halloween party and just kind of, let loose for a little bit. So I hope everybody stays safe, and I hope you have a lot of fun, all right? Life is short. Enjoy it, okay? And take some time, like I said. Let go, let loose a little bit. You deserve it. Have a good night.